I'm doing stuff. Thangs. I've been doing stuff. I've got thangs. Stuff. Thangs.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Stuff and Things. That would be our Walking Dead universe podcast covering The Walking Dead, sadly on hiatus, and Fear the Walking Dead, which is what we'll be talking about tonight. We have to cover 2 episodes, so we're going to do a brief recap of Captive, and we're going to also talk about today's episode, or this week's episode, which I believe is called Jarman.
How would I pronounce that? Sicut Cervus?
Oh man, I need to look that up.
That's what it's called, apparently. Sicut Cervus.
Oh, all right.
I guess that's Latin, perhaps.
Probably is, but I don't know if I'm a host, but I guess I'm Jerry, and I'm here with my
you
good
are a
friend.
host, of course.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And this is Jarman, and both Jerry and I are having a couple beers while we're doing this podcast because that's what Fear the Walking Dead makes us do. But
yeah, exactly. Okay, so Sicut Cervus. Let's see.
Yeah.
Title taken from a psalm or religious choir piece.
Oh, is
And
that
not
the trivia?
Well, it's just I just pulled up another review that somebody a little quicker on the gun than we are.
Oh, of course. God damn it.
those dirty on the ball journalists. So I don't really know what that means. Because,
actually, in the trivia on IMDb, it says the title is Latin for like deer, which could either refer to Psalm 42 or them being hunted, as deer is a commodity hunted or commonly hunted animal. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm sure that factors in at some point. But
I think we'll think of a better name for this episode by the end of this podcast.
Yeah, there has to be. Usually, I think it really has to do with the beginning of the episode where there's the choir boys are singing a hymn, and a lot of Catholic traditional Catholic services are in Latin, which that makes no sense to me. But then again, a lot of stuff that happens in church doesn't make sense.
Same here.
Yeah. So should we talk about Captive real quick?
Sure. And if you guys haven't seen it, go to playonnerds.com and check out Jerry's review for Captive. It was really funny and really good, and you can check that out there. But yeah, it was a good episode, I think. Yeah,
it really was. The thing with Connor and Alicia, I feel like they were probably trying to make him a more important character than he really ended up being. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
With the whole, he's so handy in the kitchen, and just his demeanor with Alicia, and the way that he was trying to get her to open up, or at least talk about herself.
And how did he get her open up? It was also the title of the episode that you wanted to produce.
What was it?
Connor makes Alicia a steak.
Oh yeah, Connor makes Alicia a steak. That should have been the title of the episode instead of Captive.
Yep, it would be a lot better.
Or Connor likes Patsy Cline. That would have been.
Oh, was Patsy Cline playing? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he was. No, the whole opening few scenes was just a montage of him really kicking ass in the kitchen and listening to Patsy Cline. And I'm like, can you really hate on a guy that listens to Patsy Cline and is that handy in the kitchen? You really? I mean, it's that's quality guy type stuff right there. I mean,
especially for your future apocalyptic leader, you kind of want that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a great unifier, good music and good food. But and the other thing too is when he was sort of talking about himself to Alicia, he even said something along the lines of the people that he cooked for said that that was what they look forward to the most were his meals. So that leads me to believe that he was the cook, or
like on that ship, you mean?
It's still a cook on a boat. Yeah, on the ship. Yeah. There's not a nautical term for cook.
I think there is actually. What's the galley is the name of the place they eat, right? Or the kitchen on the boat, but I have no idea what the cook's name would be.
Well, the cook's name, it wouldn't be the gallery. That wouldn't make any sense.
That'd be cool. But no, I think you're right, though. You were saying a little bit earlier about how, I think last episode we talked about this a bit when we first heard about Connor, that he was supposed to be this they're almost building him up as this kind of Negan-esque character or governor-like character, but I think it was a kind of a, at this point now, I think it's kind of a fun play up, and then obviously he's killed at the end of the episode. So, so I think they were kind of teasing us with that and saying, hey, this is the kind of character you're thinking it's going to be, and then nope, he's just nobody important.
No, he's just more fodder. But so there's a power outage, I believe, and sort of cuts his conversation with Alicia short, and he takes off. And so she goes poking around, finds out that they're not actually at sea at all. They're in a dry dock.
Oh, and before that happened, what did you think when you knew her name last episode? What was her name? The one who took her steak away.
Oh, Vita.
Vita. When Vita walks away, she's actually credited this episode, which is good. But when she walks away with the steak and locks the door, I thought immediately that meant it was all a trick and they were going to try to kill Alicia, like in that moment. But what did you think about that? Like when she did that, was like, because obviously there are repercussions for that. If Connor comes back and she doesn't have her steak anymore, she would just say, "Oh, Vita took my steak." You know, like that kind of bothered me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it bothered me too, because I mean, she has this moment where she kind of forgets that she's a captive when she realizes that this is actually a pretty goddamn good steak. Yeah. And wants to chow. Yeah. And she wants to chow down. And then Vita comes by and is like, no, pregnancy rules. And she just like steals her steak. And rules. Yeah, it's really vindictive, and it's, you know, and shitty. And I think that, had Connor had a chance to come back and, you know, find out what's going on, he would have, I don't know how harshly you can reprimand a pregnant woman, but he probably would have.
That was kind of like his bargaining chip, was like, look how good this steak is. Like, we're friends. Everything's cool. And then to have one of his underlings take it away is kind of like this big power move that he probably wouldn't have liked very much.
Right, exactly.
I think it was just steak and I was hungry, so it was really important to me in that moment.
No, it looked really good. That's the thing, is that it was such a well-made intro with him cooking. I'm like, oh, he's got the spices, and, you know, he's... You know, all the chopping and cutting noises. I'm like, oh man, I got hungry too. But,
yep, exactly.
So she takes off with her steak, and then so Alicia snaps back into oh shit mode, and they find out that they're in a dry dock at some. I can't really tell if it's just like a marina or if it's a military type,
or like freighters, like carrying freight. Like that's what it kind of seemed like to me. It was like just mooring freight.
Yeah, it might be something like that. And then and we're assuming that this is the Connor stronghold, or, you know, I guess home base. And then after the whole Alicia thing, they go back to the Abigail, and we find out that Reed, who is played by Jesse McCartney, why does that name ring a bell to me? Isn't he like... It
sounds really familiar.
Wasn't he like a singer or something like that?
Like maybe someone else shared that same name.
No, it's him. It's him.
Is he a singer?
He is. Yeah, he's a singer. He was famous in the late 90s.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. Jesse Mack is his.
What?
Yeah.
He's a year younger than me. What did he do?
He was like a pop singer or of some kind, and now he's obviously abused alcohol after his career's over, so he's a little bit more swollen.
Yeah, he's a bit chubby there for the
he's a little chubbier, you know. I mean, okay. Let's not criticize the actor. Maybe Connor was feeding him well.
We can, because his character's a shithead, so we can harass him.
Yeah, it was all those Connor steaks that he was. He's literally beefing up.
Oh, wow. He used to date Katie Cassidy, who you might know now as Laurel on Arrow.
Oh.
Wow. They used to be a thing.
I don't believe it.
You better believe it. Check out some IMDb photos.
Oh, man. What is this?
This guy used to be a thing, and now he's just a chubby actor who people like to hate.
Yeah, just a chubby one-off who had a crowbar shoved through his liver
and survived
it. Yeah, so he's tied to a chair, and Daniel, just this weird guy. Like, I like his character, but seriously, the more we learn about him and his past, you know, which we'll get into. There's a moment he has in Captive, and then a moment he has in this week's episode. But so he's cleaning around this just this impaling thing that he's got sticking out of him. Like, well, let's just clean it. Like, we don't want it to get infected. Like,
Apparently, yeah. I guess he saw the value in him before everyone else did, though. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
You know, yeah, I think because I wish they would have shown it where they, were like, oh shit, he's not dead, and they were going to go for the killing blow, but then Daniel was like, no, wait, we might need him alive for something, and, showing his prowess as some weird, horrible person in a past life. But so we find out that Reed and Connor are related. Reed is Connor's younger brother.
Very valuable.
Right. Now he's a very valuable playing card chip piece. Whatever you want to use. But
whatever metaphor you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Just pick one. And Reed continues to be kind of a little piece of shit, saying that he's going to take Ophelia apart when he gets loose, and et cetera, et cetera. But Daniel knows better because he's seen guys like this are probably a measure more horrible than him, and the louder the dog barks, the more afraid he is. And I think that's a pretty astute observation, because he is. He likes to talk trash, but now he's kind of in he's up shit creek, and
I will give it to this Jesse McCartney guy. Whatever he was, Justin Bieber-wise, earlier on in his career, he did some great scenes in this episode. Like, yeah, I believed him as kind of that Joffrey kind of. Oh, you don't know who that is. That's right, because you don't watch Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones, Joffrey. Everyone out there else will know who that is. But
literally everyone.
He's very hateful. Like you like to hate him, and he did a great job for that. Yeah,
he really did. So Jesse, if you're listening, scoop up those villain roles, man. You're good at it.
Yeah, go for it, man. Just lay off the alcohol.
Yeah, seriously. If you Google "get drunk, not fat," it'll bring you up like drinks that you can have that are low in calorie.
Wow, good for you, man. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, it's valuable information. But so we go back to the dry dock, and let's see. I guess. Oh no, I think Jack finds her and starts explaining to her what her job is going to be on this boat, because since he likes her so much, I guess Connor has allowed her to potentially be one of the crew, and her job is to, again, everybody's just this expert sailor, to watch the sonar and pick out and log the different ships that are at sea for potential raids and whatnot.
And I will say that is a little bit immediate trust.
Yeah.
Like, how much of an idiot is Connor, who just trusts her because he just sabotaged their family's boat? Like, how much is he considering how much he should trust her when he just sabotaged her whole family? And she doesn't know how they're doing right now. Like, she has no idea where they are.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is if he's so sure that she's going to want to be with Jack and, join this new group of people, was that bad writing? Was that a miscalculation on the character's part? Or is he this grand manipulator to where he would eventually sort of brainwash her into bringing her into the fold or something like that? And that's maybe something we didn't get to see. Obviously, because he did.
He did.
Yeah. So she's doing well, learning the finer points of piracy. We find out that Travis is in this cell below deck, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's funny that there's an religious inspirational book called Jesus Saves in the Cell with him, and it's bookmarked with a paper clip. and that's all he needs, right? Because he's MacGyver. He's MacGyver. Yeah,
he's continuing the MacGyver motif this whole show.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, paperclip! I can pick whatever the hell lock is on this gate, and I'll be right out of here."
As a teacher, like, we're trying to remember what he was a teacher, right?
Yeah, he was an English teacher. So I know there's gonna be an episode, a flashback episode, where we find out that in his younger days he was like a hardcore gangster or like a cholo of some kind. It'll be his character from Training Day. I
was just gonna say Eagle Scout, but yeah, we can go that far.
Yeah, and then it turns out he wised up and decided to give back to the community and became an English teacher. But not before learning all these street smarts,
Apparently, there must be an epic backstory like that. Otherwise, how?
Yeah.
And also, don't forget the gangster must have been living on a boat because he knew how to, rewire a boat. So
he could have been out of Long Beach or something. The LBC. Yeah, I'm getting. That's what I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, showrunners, if you're listening, Make that episode. Make that backstory episode. But so he's about to pick the lock, but then Charlie, which was the girl that got the chop on the raft, the episode before that, with a new hairdo, comes strutting in, and
or Alex, right?
Oh wait, no, yeah, it is Alex. See, she was credited as Charlie, or maybe I'm making all this up. Maybe it's the other.
Are you thinking of Charlie from Lost?
No. There was because I actually had to correct. I started writing her character name out because I remember it being different from another episode, or at least on the IMDb page.
Huh.
Which, guys, get your shit together over there, IMDb. Because,
apparently,
yeah. Jeez, man.
Or maybe you're thinking even like because you were watching the web series that she was also on. Maybe they called her Charlie on there or something. Who knows?
Who knows? But my bad. Poor research. I'm not that great of a nerd, apparently.
Trolls come on out.
Yeah, trolls come out. I'm like knocking on the cave door.
Walking over their bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Loudly. But so, yeah, Alex is there. And she's got a bone to pick with Travis, which is interesting because she very clearly saw that it was Strand that cut the rope.
Oh, I love that you're in review. You talked about that. It's like, hello? Like, why is she mad at Travis? Travis is the guy pleading with him to at least let them stay towed to the boat.
Right.
That made no sense.
No, it really made no sense, but I suppose, you would be pretty angry in general, and you wouldn't be sitting there, about to die of exposure going, man, that Strand's a motherfucker. Well, at least Travis was a nice guy.
You would think, like, you'd see him be like, oh, I wanted to thank you for at least trying to save me. By the way, your friend Strand is an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that guy.
And also, like, the guy she was saving, the burn victim guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She had just met him or something. Like, he had just saved her and then he got burned or something. But, like, it wasn't her family member or her good friend. He had just, like, I guess he had jumped in front of something to get burned. And that's why she was so close to him. But, oh, he died. Well, that's too bad. But I didn't know him, like.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so she had this sob story about how she had to, dump him overboard and et cetera, and just really guilt tripping Travis for no good reason.
And by the way, I hope people listening out there realize we're still enjoying this show. We don't mean to bash it too much. We're still enjoying it, but it's just there are a lot of weird things that we're noticing.
There are. I mean, if I hated the show, I definitely wouldn't be here.
Yeah, why would we be doing a podcast about it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, why would we do that? I mean, you have to be really hateful to get on the internet and talk trash.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
You could do that too.
Yeah. But so eventually I guess they have this moment where Travis goes, okay, yeah, I'm kind of a shithead too, because he didn't do anything to stop Strand. Probably in that moment thinking of his own family and what they need to do to survive. Only feeling a cursory moment of guilt, but then going, oh, well, fuck it. But it's that whole reasoning that not doing anything is just as bad as doing something bad. There's better wording there. I know it is.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Inaction against evil is the same as doing evil. There you go. Well, yeah.
I guess so. But, like, he's the one who actually stepped in.
Yeah, he really did, but I don't know, maybe he didn't genuinely feel like he was at fault, but he just said so to kind of get her to settle down, because Lord knows what this woman wanted to do to him before he kind of turned things around and she kind of softened up on him, and he started telling her about his situation and the things that he's had to do, and all this killing, and it's breaking my heart, and I'm losing my soul, and I'm never going to get it back, and all this whiny bullshit. That,
now, for pure analysis reasons, would you say he did that on purpose to manipulate her, or was he actually feeling those things?
I think if I'm looking at just at that episode, it could be 50-50. But with the knowledge I have after this week, I think that Travis is still holding on to this idea that there's some order in the world left, and there's some morality and ways that you should conduct yourself outside of a survival standpoint. There's still goodwill and mercy and charity that are out there and should be upheld. So maybe he was genuinely feeling bad about what happened.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and in the beginning of another one of the episodes, he was talking about throwing Strand overboard, and that was the first time he's actually said anything, that didn't involve, oh, we'll talk to him. Like, he was genuinely upset
or bleeding
at what
heart,
happened.
anything.
Yeah. That was when he was genuinely upset about what happened to Alex and her burn friends. So, maybe. But she ends up taking off. And it's interesting because she did say something along the lines of how Connor said that he was, able to make use of her. And then she told Travis, nobody makes use of me. Like,
it was a good line. I like that line.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I was really hoping that she was going to turn the tables or something. She was going to do something more than she ended up doing. She really didn't. Just kind of, I don't know. Nothing ever came of that line.
I'm totally forgetting what happened to her.
Nothing. Just she don't see her for the rest of the episode.
Really?
Yeah.
She's just totally gone.
Yeah, she just disappears.
She didn't die in the dock. She's just gone.
Yeah, she's just really gone.
Wow. I guess I hope she'll come back later, but I don't know how at this point.
Well, and the thing is that there are other people that survived this whole hostage swap, and so I'm thinking, that they're going to pop back up in a later episode. Hopefully, I mean, they're interesting characters.
Yeah. Jack is debatable, but well, Mr. Man Bun.
Yeah, Mr. Man Bun. Well, and the thing is that I think that his attachment to Alicia is what's going to get him killed, and I thought that's what's going to happen, in Captive, but it'll happen down the road. But so back on the Abigail. Let's see. So Chris is standing guard for some reason. Chris is standing guard outside of the room where they're holding Reed.
Ugh.
Yeah, right.
He's even worse now that we know what the next episode is.
Yeah, anytime you leave this kid alone to his devices, he just does horrible, awful shit. Like, yeah, he's this weird. Like, it's interesting because his character really bothers me.
Yeah, like me too.
Not just what a dumbass, kind of like how people didn't like Carl for a few seasons on The Walking Dead. Like,
yeah, or like Will Wheaton on Star Trek. Like,
right. Exactly, and he's just a creepy kid.
God, yes.
And he went there really quickly. Like, I think maybe the only time that I thought he might have been all right were maybe in the first one or two episodes of last season. And ever since then, I'm like, man, this guy's got problems.
Yeah, like first episode, he's a regular kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And now he's just like serial killer.
Yeah, he's this creepy sociopathic weirdo. But so he's outside the room. And I think, I'm not really even sure Reed was saying, but it was probably something along the lines of how Chris has a weird step crush on Alicia or something like that.
Oh, and then he said like something about his mom. He's like, so I don't see your mom around here. I guess she died too. Didn't he say
right.
Like that? Yeah.
Yeah. He's gave him he played the orphan card or the dead parent card.
That's how you create Batman.
Yeah. Well, also
or Joker, I guess.
Yeah, a weird sociopath with issues that he can't get over. But so I guess that that pushes Chris far enough, and he blasts Reed in the face.
Which almost would have been okay if he had acted cool after that, but he's acted really weird after that.
Yeah.
Because Reed deserved it, and he didn't know they were using Reed for, an exchange at that point. So I don't blame him for that. But at the same time, it's like he just went off the deep end after that point.
Well, and that was what made it so upsetting was, the juxtaposition of Maddie in contact with Connor and them setting up this trade. Meanwhile, Chris kills Reed, but he didn't. He killed him because he wanted to kill. It wasn't necessarily because he had died and woke back up, as we actually see.
Yeah, he's blatantly lying.
Yeah,
he's blatantly lying.
And that's when that's when something's up. Like, if a guy gets on my nerves in the zombie apocalypse and I shoot him in the face, I'm gonna say he pissed me off. I shot him in the face. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and make up lies to make myself.
He was dying. He tried to kill us. He started saying things about my mom. I shot him in the face.
Yeah, and it was.
We're good.
We're good. Yeah. Any questions? No, no questions.
You're done.
But yeah, he's lying and trying to sort of keep up this troubled youth bullshit, and it's just getting weirder and weirder. But so, right, the pooch is screwed, but at the same time, Daniel comes in, and instead of killing the faceless, jawless Reed, he decides that there's still a bargaining chip to be had.
Smart choice.
Yeah, it was a really good move. And I like automatically when Daniel stops him, I'm like, aha, this is a smart guy right here. They're gonna just put a bag over his head and you know, even though he's making all these gross snarling noises, they'll be like, oh, that's Reed. He just does that.
He's weird, you know.
Yeah.
You know Reed.
You know Reed. You know those orphans. Always snarling about something. So I guess, yeah, basically the episode ends with them making this trade. You know, Maddie goes with the Reed Walker, and then they bring Travis out, but Alicia is, what the hell was she doing? She was
they couldn't find her because she was like down in the cell with. That's where not Alex, the pregnant chick.
That was Vita.
Right,
like,
Vita. She threw Vita in the cell, and they couldn't find Alicia to make the trade. And Alicia went with Jack, and then she was on the roof, and then she jumped off the roof.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, they shove Reed over. Reed bites Connor and the second minion, and then Travis actually gets into a fight with the dude with his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah, little headbutt action.
Yeah, it was good. It was impressive. It was like, right on, man. Like, way to not get yourself punched in the breadbasket. Like,
way to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Be useful. But I think Alicia had gone missing because she was trying to figure out a way to escape, even though she had talked Jack into running away with her. You know, this whole Romeo and Juliet bullshit.
Yeah.
Because she found out that. Oh, that's right. She had found out that. When they saw the Abigail on the radar, that something didn't add up in her mind, and so she realized that Connor had lied to her and not delivered her family to safety. And she had no idea that they were actually Luis. You know, split some wigs and saved everybody.
Mm-hmm. Split some wigs. Is that like a West Coast term I'm not aware of?
No, a guy that I worked with a long time ago. We were talking about that movie. With Tony Jaa, it was wasn't The Protector, it was the one before that.
The Protector.
Yeah, it was like this Muay Thai movie where he like it's just 2 hours of him beating the shit out of people.
Oh, there's like 3 of them now.
Yeah.
Those movies.
Ong Bak,
yes.
Yeah, he was like, have you seen that movie, bro? And I was like, no, what's it about? He's like, it's this crazy Muay Thai guy just splitting wigs.
Splitting wigs.
And that sold me right then and there. I ran out and got the movie that night. But
I at least know that Ong Bak 2 is on my Netflix list right now, so it's a good one. I need to watch it.
I think that one takes place like in ancient Thailand.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah.
We definitely digressed.
Yeah, we digressed. But so she is thinking that something's up, so she goes and she hides during the trade. Then she pops up on the top of the boat, jumps off. Really daring, by the way. I don't think I would do that.
No, and I'm glad everything in that trade went well, but everything in that trade went really well for them.
Yeah. The
bite happened perfectly. It bit fucking Connor in the throat. Like, I mean, it's the best things you could possibly hope for in that trade happened. So, which is good for the progression of the show. Sure, it's great. But I was like, wow, that was very convenient.
Yeah, it was super convenient because something had to have gone wrong, and it's just because, you know, in The Walking Dead, nothing ever goes right.
Right. Like, I think at this point, somebody would have already been dead. Yeah. It's season 2 now. Like, somebody should have died.
Yeah. And the thing is that they killed Chris's mom. I mean, well, they didn't kill her. I mean, she just kind of, it was just one of those, oh, how sad. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, that guy got eaten or whatever.
Because she was there for like, what, 2 episodes? Maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 episodes. And I mean, you thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be Maddie and gosh, I forgot her name. But Maddie and Chris's mom fighting over Travis. And it's going to be a soap opera with zombies. But no.
Which is good. I'm glad they avoided that. Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really major has happened to the core group of heroes. And I thought at least Jack was going to get killed because, I was thinking that something was going to go wrong with the exchange. Connor was going to go, oh, Reed's dead, so I'm going to kill one of yours. Jack was going to jump in front of Alicia and save her life, something like that.
I would have liked that. Kill Man Bun, please.
Yeah, that would have been, heroic. It would have been at least, some sort of redemptive action for that character, instead of just being this ride-along pirate who
exactly,
gets infatuated with whatever girl he comes across. I'm assuming.
But also duped her into losing her family.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, also, I think when I was going back to saying that Connor might be this master manipulator, I think Jack kind of doesn't want to be a part of this, which is why he agreed to run away with Alicia in the first place.
Yeah.
But, Connor got in his head to that point where he was doing that sort of stuff, sort of maybe without even thinking about it. It was just sort of an automatic thing. This is what we do. We raid boats. We mess with people's minds. Something.
He got into that very quickly.
Yeah, well, teenagers, I'm assuming. I think they're supposed to, Alicia's supposed to be late. She's in high school, right?
The end of high school, I think, was the idea.
Yeah, because, it was the end of the school year or something like that. Because she goes to the same school that Maddie and Travis teach at. And
that actor who played her boyfriend was in The Wire as a little kid. And The Wire is a great show. So I was sad that he died so quickly in the first season.
Oh, well, he's still getting work, though. I mean, I'm sure he's going to come back.
Yeah, there you go. Something.
Yeah, so, the end of Captive leaves us with Jack brokenhearted, Vita in the jail cell because she got into a tussle with Alicia, and then Alex nowhere to be found. And I find it hard to believe that Connor only had a total of what is that, seven people altogether? 8? I
guess. That was his big mass following, and they talked about him like he was some religious leader or something, and it was not that impressive.
And that his home base or stronghold or whatever seems like it could house a lot more people. So,
but it makes sense because of how little time has passed since this has happened. The apocalypse has started, and he shouldn't have that many followers yet. So
right, yeah, it's just whomever he's come across.
Yeah, but
all right.
To transition though from this episode to the next, I would say watching Captive, I was like, oh, okay, this show's kind of picking up. All right, I'm trying to get a little excited about stuff. But then before I even hear what your thoughts are on the next episode, this episode I watched from this week, and I was like, wow, this is actually really kind of getting good. So that was my feeling going into it. So how did you feel when this next episode kind of started in comparison to the last one?
I think it was a huge step up where...
Okay, good, because I felt the same way.
Yeah, where it was there was some interesting human drama and tension in Captive. And I was like, okay, they're starting to ramp it up a little bit. And then, this Latinly titled episode comes along, and I'm like, wow, this is, I was really into it. Because for me, it was sort of, okay, finally they're done with the Abigail and they're on land. And
true.
And this, this villa in Mexico, that's their next major, not only story wise, but I guess location wise, the big hub from which I think the rest of the season is going to take place. So it was like, and it's set up really well. Well, okay, so so to backtrack it begins with the church service and the choir,
right,
and the priest's views on what the nature of the apocalypse, and it's not God's fault, of course. So we shouldn't blame the big guy upstairs. It's probably something that we allowed to happen because we're filthy sinners.
The spaghetti monster in the sky.
Yeah. Thanks, Spaghetti Monster, for nothing. And something interesting happens after the church service is over. Everybody's exiting the church and they grab weapons as if they were gonna go fight some walkers.
Yeah, I was on board with all this. I was like, what the hell's going on? This is awesome. I love it. It's so different. It's great.
Yeah.
I have no idea what time frame this is. I don't know if it's a flashback from Luis. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and it seemed interesting because, they have service, they take communion, they run out of the church, everybody's got their melee weapons. And it's like, yeah, that's what we do on Sundays. We go to church and,
get our melee weapons.
Yeah, they kill zombies, yeah, of course. But before they can do anything, Mr. Abigail himself, Thomas shows up.
Dougray
and
Scott.
Dougray. He shows up and he tries to stop them from, and we assume that they were going to go fight off the walkers that may be straggling the village or something like that. But he says that whoever these people are far more well armed than they are, and they'll be killed automatically. So there could be some sort of occupying force that, we don't know about.
That's why at that point I was still thinking it was some kind of flashback and they were going to surprise us and make us think it was zombies and it was actually about like cartels or something and not involving zombies. Like, oh, wow, like they were actually that whole time just talking about a rivaling cartel or somebody who's like attacking them or terrorizing their village. But no, it was more deep than that, obviously.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure. Obviously, Thomas has some sort of vested interest in the people that, are in this village or town where his property is.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to stop them from, going and attacking whoever it is. It could, and it could be the same people that Luis was trying to, pay off so that the Abigail, the boat, can get into Mexico. But we'll get to that later. So before anything can really happen, everybody starts getting sick. And I thought it was interesting because like, oh my gosh, these people are turning without, having died of natural causes or being bitten.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, holy crap, is this some kind of new mythology thing? Is like going to be like a new step in The Walking Dead?
Well, yeah, for a moment I was like, oh, they better not have made the zombie virus originate in Mexico because that's
that would be bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Bad for politics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only in the fictional universe would the wall make sense. Like, guys, there's zombies. Yeah, we got to build the wall. Come on.
It'd be a great wall.
It's a great wall.
Zombies. It'd be fantastic.
No zombies ever going
terrific.
Across the border. Terrific wall.
The zombies will pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Make the zombies pay for it. We'll build the wall out of zombies.
Oh,
But so everybody all kind of dies, and unfortunately,
children included. Yeah,
children included. Yeah.
Yep.
So again, not shying away from the fact that there are children zombies too.
Oh, and more later, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens after that? Are we back on the? We're back on the Abigail.
Yeah, that's where they're kind of like finally getting into the flotilla.
The flotilla, yes.
Flotilla.
And so so Luis is about to make payment, but then they're accosted by this boat, and apparently one of the guys on the boat is the contact that they need to make. But then oddly, and apparently Luis is going to make this payment in gold, which may or may not factor in later on in the series.
Yeah, how gold's still a currency, apparently.
Yeah. Or, just
even like Alex Jones and every other crazy nut job out there says, buy gold, buy more gold.
Oh, God.
For the end of the world.
Yeah, for the end of the we're not going to go to a barter system in the apocalypse. Gold will still have value.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Of course.
Thanks, Alex Jones. Yeah. Him and Billy Corgan are probably buying a lot of gold right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Billy Corgan. Oh, no. Is Billy Corgan on that boat? Oh, no.
Billy Corgan has been on the InfoWars.
Are you serious?
Twice now. And
Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan?
Yes.
I had no idea.
One of my favorite bands, and he's just going full-blown conspiracy theorist.
Oh, no.
SJW, hating Bernie, bashing weirdo.
How? He's part of my youth.
He really is, but I just think that...
Oh, no.
I think he just got tired of being a giant bald baby. And
it's okay, though. Our podcast listeners already know my political beliefs and everything, so It's cool.
All right. And he felt like he needed to lash out. It's really a shame. Yeah. Yeah. If you can know, if you have a high cringe tolerance, I suggest you watch the interviews. If not, then just go burn your Melancholy and Infinite Sadness CDs and call it a day. But so we got the flotilla. Luis's makes contact, I guess, comes over on his own little boat, which I suppose was not part of their plan, because that means that they have to hide the rest of the group because they're not supposed to be on the boat at all. It was apparently it was only supposed to be Strand and Luis on this boat, but now we have the whole friggin' families, I guess, plural. So they go below deck, and
that was their best plan, I guess, just to hide under board, and hopefully they just let the whole boat go through.
Yeah, they're like, I only see two people, so on this gigantic fuck off boat, seems legit,
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just it. They the conversation in Spanish is translated by Daniel, and then they have this oh shit moment where they realize that these two guys, I'm assuming these Mexican military personnel, they want to search the rest of the boat, and then a fight breaks out, and fuck, Luis gets shot.
I know. I hated that.
I was really upset at that. I had like my mouse over the X on my video player. I was like, I'm just gonna stop watching. I'm just gonna tell Jarman I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, they killed my favorite character right off the bat. They didn't even kill him. They just let him lay there and bleed.
I know, and I even wrote in my notes. I was like, "Damn it, they killed Luis. I'm done. They can't recognize good talent."
No, they really can't. Yeah, they can't recognize how cool a guy that can pull off 2 stunning headshots on a boat, like a speeding, yeah. So he gets shot. He's lying there. He doesn't want to get stabbed in the head, but Daniel's ready. Oh, I gotta stab him. He's the only other Spanish speaker on the boat. Fuck this guy. Yeah, he's a little too gung ho about it, but I think Ophelia stops him and kind of lets him bleed out. I don't know what's really worse, but
yeah.
But something interesting happens. He tries to hand them like a token, or it's a little trinket of some kind to give to his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this little coin-ish object with an owl on it, and Daniel, being the asshole that he is, chucks it into the water.
And he was freaked out by what was on that coin. I feel like he knows what it is or something.
Yeah, he has a weird feeling about that. And then another interesting thing with Daniel happened at the beginning of the no, not at the beginning of the episode, but a little bit later on when they make landfall, I guess is the proper nautical term.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they make it through, even though they are being shot at by the flotilla. They get away and, kind of explain in a way that says, whatever's on the mainland is what's going to kill them, as opposed to them getting shot to death. I guess they figured they'd save the bullets and let them get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
But so, yeah, in poking around, they come across these infected churchgoers, and so the first semi-competent group melee takes place where they kind of understand what they have to do, and there's not, all the stumbling and tripping and et cetera, et cetera. They actually are decent at killing these walkers.
Yeah, and even having to kill children, like right there, just they had to do it. They kind of did. Yeah,
Nick split this little girl's head open, like a melon, like Gallagher. It was nuts.
Deep cut with Gallagher, yes.
Yeah, but so he seems to have, a qualm about it, as I guess you do, even though in your head that they're walkers, but at the same time you're seeing they're kids, and I guess the imagery still sticks with you. But Daniel has this moment where he's holding off a walker child, and he has some weird flashback where there's a kid that's being held by the throat, and I don't know if it's him holding this kid or if it's him as this child, I guess, back in whatever horrible shit he lived through. So it's like, it seems apparent that he has these ghosts that are coming back to haunt him, because if you remember on Captive, he has that, so he hears that voice that tells him to take the gun.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah. So there's some stuff going on with him, and I think that's gonna play into. I don't know if he's going crazy, or if those are just those are his just survival instincts kicking in or something, or if these like these ghosts of the past are catching up to him, and that's kind of how he goes out. Is well,
it's like whole new life is actually making him remember his past, whereas the regular life, it would never come up. But now all these war memories are popping back into his head. Right.
And I think that's sort of going to be his downfall later on, just as, as the character progresses in general. And then what else happens? Maddie does fall over and gets straddled by a walker, and Chris doesn't do anything. He actually kind of wants to see what happens.
Freaking asshole.
Yeah, just an asshole of the year here. And Alicia catches him, and Kat's kind of out of the bag. It's pretty obvious that he was purposely not helping Maddie. So that adds a whole new wrinkle to things.
Because he didn't look scared and frozen. He looked like he was just excited or something. It was
creepy as fuck. Yeah, he's got this creepy. It isn't even like this bloodlust, like the whole Alexandria fight scene in The Walking Dead, where the wall comes down and everybody sort of arms up and stands in solidarity and kicks major ass. It's like he's just like gleefully killing in like a weird, not awesome way.
He's a future governor on our hands here.
Yeah. He's got this sadistic streak in him. But so that happens, and so Strand finds Abigail's truck, and he's not there. I don't think he's not there, is he?
No, not yet.
But they make their way to the villa. So we have the flotilla, and now we're at the villa.
The villa?
The villa.
Oh, the villa. All right.
The villa. But, yeah, so they're, Alicia seems to be, I think she audibly was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, at first I thought it was vineyards, and I was like, what use is wine going to be in this time? But, I mean, I guess it was just crops, but kind of like beautiful vineyards.
Yeah, I think they, and I think that it's just there and they're tending them just to kind of give them something to do. Like they have walls, they have jobs to do. It seems kind of like really, really idyllic. Like, when you first, like when the group first gets to the Herschel's farm, or when they first find Alexandria, you're like, oh wow, this is good. This is we can stay here. This sort of brief moment of hope.
Very, very brief. Well, they get settled into the house in the different rooms, and trying to think. Strand gets reintroduced to Abigail,
who's bitten, and I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah, I already thought as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, they couldn't afford Gray Scott to stay on too long in the show, I guess.
Yeah, it was, and it's a real bummer too. I think he had maybe like a total of 10 minutes of screen time, and he's a great actor, an interesting character. And I really, I thought their relationship was interesting, his and Strand's, and I kind of wanted to see that sort of play out a little bit longer. I knew one of them was going to have to die, but, so he's bitten, and so now Strand is, which is really cool. Well, I guess it isn't cool. I feel bad for the guy, but to see the range of emotion that he's having.
Yeah.
He's usually this cool as a cucumber, can make decisions, kind of be a dick when he needs to. It's all about the survival. And really, the only reason that he was this person, this sort of, asshole at sea was all because he was trying to get back to Abigail, the man.
Yeah, it shows that it's like
that was his
different motivations. It makes him less 2D of a character.
Yeah. But so there's that. Something's kind of off about Luis's mom.
Oh, right.
Because, she doesn't seem to take her son's death too harshly. She does share some interesting philosophies with Nick about the nature of death and the, I guess outbreak, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm hoping she doesn't sway Nick too far over in the next couple episodes, because we need Nick to be the cool, badass heroin addict that he is.
Yeah, we need him to be the useful, sneaky. But again, I think that he's sort of playing up his vulnerability and curiosity.
I hope so.
To try to figure out what's going on. Because, yeah, me too. I mean, I just really think that's kind of his characters. He automatically, whatever situation he's in, he tries to feel it out.
That makes sense. That'd be a lot better. I hope they do that direction.
Yeah, because, and it's even, again, an odd moment of mothering when Maddie comes in and sort of, I guess, gets into like a womanly pissing match between, he's vulnerable or whatever. Like he was out on the streets. You were like the worst mother ever before this whole thing started. Now you're like, don't talk to my son.
Exactly.
Like,
plus the time at least that time when she walked in, all she was saying is like, hey, death isn't the end. it's like everything's okay. She wasn't going too far into her weird, Walker philosophy yet. And she was giving him food. Like, Maddie, you think would walk in and be like, oh, that's great. She's treating my son so wonderfully, But suddenly she was like all protective and pissy. I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was really weird. Like, don't feed my son this delicious soup concoction, you bitch.
How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah.
What was it called? Do you remember?
Pozole.
Is that a thing? Is that a?
Yeah. It's actually pretty it's like Mexican chicken soup. It's really delicious.
Nice.
You should try it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's very. It's one of those dishes that you eat and you just feel like your soul is just better.
Warms you up.
Right. Exactly. So there's that. So we understand that there's something not quite right there, though, because. Yeah, so there's Luis's mom, and I can't remember her name.
Oh, I actually went back and found it. Celia.
Oh, okay, Celia.
Yep.
So
I couldn't remember either.
Yeah, they don't allow weapons in the villa, in the property. But again, Daniel has a problem with his fellow Spanish speakers. He's just really on guard with them. And for good reason, we find out. I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit in the.
Well, I guess
narration.
before that happens, we have the whole scene with Chris and Alicia, which gets even freakier.
Oh right,
Mm-hmm.
he tries to have a little chit chat with her about whatever she's watching on TV, and she doesn't. She just wants no part of him, and so she kind of calls him out on what happened earlier. So he gets a little grabby with her. He puts hands on her.
Mm-hmm. Not in a sexy way, but in more like a "I might kill you" way.
Right, in a very threatening, way, and it's really dark for him, and you're like, oh shit.
And he's like, I didn't actually do that to your mom. She's like, I saw you do it, and he's like, if you tell anyone I did, then I don't want to hurt anyone.
You can't say anything.
What if I do?
I don't want to hurt anyone. ...
It's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. There's that nonverbal ...
I don't want to hurt anyone. What the hell is going on with him?
Yeah, but I will. I'll choke you out or stab you in the face or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then when, so obviously she tells Maddie, and then Maddie tries to talk to Travis about it, and he just is pretty oblivious to it.
Yeah.
Or not oblivious, but he's really argumentative about it. Like, he doesn't really want to believe that his son would be capable of that.
Is going nuts.
Yeah. That it would have this profound impact on him in a negative way. And, and I suppose it's a natural reaction when somebody says, hey, your son's a psychopath, and put hands on his own stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, no, they're not married, are they?
Oh, that's right.
Travis,
Yes, they're not.
Travis and Maddie are not married. So, but it's just this sort of mishmash of families. But anyhow, he doesn't want to hear it. But then again, he goes to spend time with him while Maddie goes and stays with Alicia. And, yeah. What happens after that? Is that when Daniel starts going walking in the evening?
I think so. And meets up with a little kid who's going to visit his mother.
Right.
Yeah.
His mother is a walker.
Yeah. All being held in the barn. I mean, in that room.
Oh, yeah. They would never rehash an idea from the other show. Why would they do that?
Now, I was watching with my girlfriend, and she suddenly brought that up too, and she's like, "What? This is the same episode." And I guess it's a problem of that. This kind of thing, I guess, would happen if the zombie apocalypse happened. Some people wouldn't want to admit that they're zombies, but then I was like, but our pop culture, everyone knows what zombies are, so we would automatically know to fear them and kill them. Whereas in this world, no one ever uses the word zombie. It seems like no one has ever heard of zombies before. So,
yeah.
I don't know but it is kind of a rehash of the same kind of people that they.
Yeah, I bet you George Romero's real fucking pissed off. He's like, I invented this whole mythology and it gets no recognition whatsoever.
Exactly.
In these movies that I pretty much created. Bullshit. But yeah, it was frustrating to me because they didn't have to go that route, and it was like, but at the same time, I feel like on the farm, on Herschel's farm, he was genuinely distraught about, losing whatever family members he lost, and still was unsure about the nature of the virus, or the outbreak or whatever it is, and believed that they could get better.
Yeah, he didn't believe there was anything mystical about it. He believed it was just that we don't understand it yet, which makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, and there could be a cure. Now, this combined with, the fact that they have the walkers there, the whole creepy owl thing, and just sort of Celia's confidence about it makes me think that this is more of, like a cultish spiritual kind of situation that we're dealing with. So
yeah, because we see the owl again over the shrine of all the people who have turned into walkers. There's that big owl in the tree. Mm-hmm. And for some reason that sets off Nick to remember the first episode where he's walking around the church. So that was kind of strange.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, why is he having this memory? Like, did he see the owl in the church?
I kept waiting. I kept waiting for him to see it in the flashback, and then he didn't. So I was like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, maybe if he did see, like, it's going to be revealed, like, he has another flashback where he does see the owl, and sort of the zombie virus or whatever it is has some sort of religious undertones, like there's some death cult or something like that that's going around.
Yeah.
And, his shoot up junkie church was one of the first places, or one of these locations where it would, they sort of decided to set it off or release it or introduce it, however they. So yeah, we'll see about that. But there is another moment. So after Daniel learns about or finds these walkers, he goes to confront Celia, who's again just like not sweating it at all. She's like, oh yeah. She's got her own opinions on it, and then he sort of figures out what happened to the people in the church, and we realize that they were poisoned, and they didn't just keel over and die of this, whatever zombie virus. They Celia had poisoned the communion wafers, and she actually has 2 more wafers that are going to go to Abigail and Strand. They're going to do some Romeo and Juliet type shit. And
first off, that made me realize how Celia is completely insane and willingly killed women and children and everybody just because they were planning. That whole first scene, turns out they were actually planning on going to attack the Via because they didn't believe in this death cult business. And so she killed them all. Like, that is terrifying.
Yeah, it's and I think that she thinks that they're transitioning into a better place or whatever, like this state of undeath is preferable, or the new afterlife or whatever, which is kind of odd to think about. But in the end, Strand doesn't take the wafer and actually shoots Abigail in the head,
which I thought was great.
Yeah, after he dies. Yeah, there's no way that they can't kill. They really can't kill Strand. They killed Luis, which was, pissed me off a lot, deeply. I'm hurt.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah. So they definitely can't kill Strand. I mean, you have to have at least one badass. Well, I mean, Nick's pretty cool, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, he still feels like a teenager anyway.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing is, I think Maddie says something like he's only like 19 or something. The character's only supposed to be like 19.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, it's pretty crazy to think that he's, I would think he'd be a little bit older, because 19 seems awfully young to be addicted to heroin, but then again, I'm not addicted to heroin.
That's true. Thank God.
Right, exactly.
But, yeah, he could be a little bit older, and he seems more mature, but maybe he's just been out in the streets since he was 16 or something. Who knows? Right,
yeah, he's got them street smarts. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Maybe heroin's that great, like...
I've heard it. I heard it's fantastic.
yeah. From what I hear, it's pretty awesome. I'll just take their word for it, but
exactly.
So that, I think that's kind of where it ends, with Strand and Abigail's rapidly cooling body.
So I think last time we decided to do this, but who do you think will die next? Now that we've seen what we've seen. This is Death Watch or Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool, Fear the Walking Dead edition. Right now, I think Chris is on track to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the other thing that we completely missed was during when Strand shoots Abigail, the gunshot wakes up Alicia and Maddie, who find that Chris is in the room with a knife, like a creepy asshole. And so if that wasn't, and I'm really glad that happened, because I really didn't want to have Maddie and Travis argue back and forth about, whether or not, Chris is a creepy asshole. They have all the evidence they need right there.
Yep.
And something's going to happen. There's going to be a scuffle, a tussle. Chris is going to run away and get eaten, or he's going to actually try to make good and kill, either Alicia or Maddie, and he's going to get killed in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I think, so he's number one. I think Celia might be getting the chop too, just because they can't have the craziness there. Like, they're going to try to take the Via for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the character I want to die the most. But, I mean, I think he actually has legitimate reasons to actually get killed, because just like when Carol had to kill, what's-her-face? Like the two kids.
Yeah, because she was crazy.
Yeah, she was crazy. So, like, they might have to, like, come to that realization that he can't live in this world. I don't know if they're at that point yet, but that'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, and that episode where Carol has to shoot the kids was really heavy. I mean, it took a lot out of me. But now that we've sort of broken through that barrier, like, oh, fuck it, let's kill some kids. Like,
he's a teenager. He's fine.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's had a good life, and now he's a creepy weirdo. But see, the thing is, and I can't remember that character's name in The Walking Dead, but she killed her younger sister, and so there was blood on her hands, quite literally. And so Chris hasn't done anything like that yet, but I feel like they might want to nip this one in the bud and get him, because if he kills Alicia, then that's it for Travis and Maddie. And if he kills Maddie, well, that's it for him and Travis, like, as far as a father-son goes. So it's like, where do we go from here?
Hopefully he doesn't get to kill anybody. And maybe they can, but I don't see how he can be redeemed at this point, because he's kind of awful.
Yeah, I think the whole arc of his character is meant to show this, the detrimental impact of living in this world and how it affects your sanity and the consequences of not, having your head on straight and sort of letting this creepy bloodlust psychosis take over.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I think, somebody has to die, because it's the mid-season finale, next episode.
Are they taking a break after that?
They are. For what reason? I don't know. I think they have a couple other shows that they're rolling out. I think Preacher's coming around.
Oh, right. Which also could be good.
Could be good. Yeah. Maybe if I like it, I'll be more than happy to write about that too. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm running out of stuff to write about.
Exactly, we're trying here.
These shows are taking a break.
But yeah, what would you, if we were going to give it a rating out of 5, what would you give Sicut Cervus, episode 6?
Just for the fact that it sets up probably the rest of the season, which we're going to have to wait for. I'm going to have to say this was a solid 4.5. No, I'm gonna ding them a full star for killing Luis. I'm gonna say it's 4 out of 5 stars.
I'll go the same thing, 4 out of 5, because it gives some mythology, which is cool, of the show that they're bringing up questions about. The characters are becoming more interesting. Had some action, good action actually in that whole thing. But then not only they kill Luis, but they're also kind of rehashing an old plot. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. As far as Fear the Walking Dead goes, if this was a Walking Dead episode, it'd be like 3 stars, but.
yeah, exactly. But we're giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly,
because we have nothing else.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for this Stuff and Thangs episode number 3. I guess we'll see you guys next week at some point. We're trying to get on a schedule here, but it's difficult, recording schedules and such. But it can happen eventually.
Yeah, go ahead if you are compelled. Send us a message over at stuffandthangs@playonnerds.com. Let us know what you think of the podcast so far. I'm still waiting to get trolled, so that's always an option too if you don't feel like having anything of value to say.
Yeah, please just go ahead and troll us. We're happy for the company.
Yeah, we really are. That's the point we're at in our lives. So,
all right, take it easy, folks. See you next time.
I'm doing stuff. Thanks. I've been doing stuff. I've got things. Stuff.
If you'd like to find out more about us, you can always check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/aplayonnerds.
Or check us out on Twitter and Instagram at aplayonnerds.
We're also streaming live game content all the time on twitch.tv/aplayonnerds.
Fun videos and stuff to check out, youtube.com/playonnerds.
And also, please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave a review if possible, because that lets us be easily searched in the iTunes search index for podcasts.
Check us out at our website, www.aplayonnerds.com, where all this content can be found at the tip of your fingers.
And you can also always email us at anything@aplayonnerds.com.
We just want to hear from you. However you do it, check us out.
And how?